Hi, my name is Leigh, and today we're going to be discussing more intermediate video editing using Adobe Premiere. So we're going to be doing an interview today, which I have done all on one camera, which is from our studio. So firstly, we're going to make a folder on our desktop. You could also put this on your hard drive or other thing. We're going to name it JP because our subject that's her initials. And inside that folder, we're going to put in another folder called Assets. You can name this other things like video clips, footage, whatever. So now that we have our folders together on our desktop, we are going to go into where our folders are. You can do this when you're downloading the stuff off of the camera. Oops. Yes, so I have, let's see. We have the interview right here. So we hunt it down. There it is. So we're going to grab that in, throw that in. Let's see, go in. It is downloading. I should do some time lapses in here. And then we want to get this B-roll that I shot the other day. So just throw that in too. So now that we have practiced proper file management, we can open up our Premiere document. And here it is. So we have basics right here from last time, but now we're going to just open up a new one. We're going to make sure it goes into our JP file. We can name this J. Let's make it longer. So J interview. Okay. So it opens up. I have it on my effects panel, so we also have this rack here of effects. Let's go back into editing. So again, we have our sequence window, our project window, our source window, our program window. We also have our tools, and then we have audio over here. So we're going to import our media quick. So it's right here in Assets. They're all MP4s. We actually have no music for this one, but oops. So our first step then is going to make a new sequence. Oops. So let's call this J interview, if I can spell, new sequence. Okay. So we have our interview here. Then we have our B-roll here. Now we want to have our interview. Okay, so we're going to open that up. Let's go over it a bit. So now this is really dark.
Yeah.
We have it hitting the rule of thirds.
T as in toy. Cool.
So this is opening still. Some of this is just intro to film stuff where when you're filming you want to have the person say their name and how it's spelled so that way you can properly go over everything. So let's do an in and out quick. So.
And because they had a lot of, I chose Madison College because and Dag, T as in toy. Cool. So why did you choose Madison College?
So this is where she starts talking here. She's going to do an in. This is this or an I on your keyboard. Just going to let it play quick.
Why did you choose Madison College? I chose Madison College because it was a cheaper option than going to a four-year school right off the bat, right out of high school. And because they had a lot of classes that I was interested in. And even within the liberalized transfer program, I didn't really know what I wanted to do right away. And so taking those classes, I figured out kind of what my interests were without spending all the money at a four-year school doing that. So what have you...
So that's where it ends. We're going to do an out there. And you can just grab this and pull it down. We're going to change sequence settings quick. You could keep the existing settings, but we're just going to, if you wanted to. So with this one, We're going to cut it a little bit closer than I had it on the end. Just going to pull it in like this. I'm going to leave that blank there. So this is Jessica talking.
And even with
Now we have some background people and stuff, which you could go into Adobe Audition and fix that up. You could even go in here, you could unlink this and then cut out every little bit, which would probably be a little choppy, so maybe not do that. I didn't mic Jessica. This is Jessica, by the way. I didn't mic Jessica when I shot this, which is one issue that we have here. We're just gonna do this quick.
And so taking those classes, I figured out kind of what my interests were without spending all the money.
So let's do another shot of Jessica quick.
I have a legitimate excuse. They've always been pretty good about letting me, I'm phrasing it badly. What I like about
Yep. So now she's rephrasing a question I already asked, which I knew she was doing. I'm just gonna do a new out in.
I'm phrasing it badly. What I like about Madison College is the instructors. They always are very caring. They explain things well. And I also like that the classes are small enough that you actually get to know your instructor, whereas I think at a four-year school, you're surrounded by so many other people, the classes are huge, you might never actually interact with your professor, just a TA or something. And to actually have that relationship with your instructor makes it so much easier to learn. If you have a question, you're not just limited to looking up on Google or something. You can go and talk to the instructor. And I really appreciate that.
Okay. So there's another clip that I want, and so we're just gonna add that at the end here. Gonna leave a little space. Gonna click off snap so I can get it closer in without having it be snapped right to the edge. So now I have a good minute of footage. This is a pretty good interview. It's a 5-minute interview. I'm only gonna use a minute of it. I could do longer or shorter depending on how much I wanted it. And you also might notice that I have a little bar here of what I've clipped out from here. I could grab this whole thing and it would clip the same thing there. I could remove the out in and outs, or I could move them all the way in. And then I could grab the whole thing again. Okay, so now that we have a good solid minute, we have an issue because it goes black right here.
About Madison College is that
So we're gonna use some B-roll to cover that up. Okay, this is our super sneaky technique. And let's go into some B-roll. And I look through this, pretty boring, but let's do an in. Gonna go in about 10 seconds and do an out, and then we're just gonna pull down only the footage. And we're just gonna put it right there. So when she's talking.
kind of what my interests were without spending all the money. About Madison College is the instructors. They always
And we have some other issues in here too. But let's add some more B-roll quick. So I like this footage a little. I think it's pretty. So we're just gonna do an in, go in, let's do 5 seconds this time. Grab only the footage, throw that down, putting it on top. Now this will show up before Jessica shows up. So yeah. And let's add this clip too. So I'm gonna let this guy in yellow pass quick. He's out of shot. Gonna go out, have these few people pass. That's a lot of time. Let's go. Let's see. Starting it at 9. Let's go there. And then we're just gonna step this in. And we still have the audio now, so we're gonna click on this, right click, and then we're gonna go down to unlink, and then we're gonna delete this off. So now we only have the audio from Jessica's stuff. We have our B-roll footage that interrupts her, so we don't just have a talking head for a solid minute. And then we have an end. So let's add a title. So we're going to go down to our type tool here and then drag it across the screen. It's going to be red. I'm going to write interview with student. And we can click that. Now we have a title. We can move this anywhere we want. We can have that smack dab in the middle. Move that over. So now we have our title.
I chose Madison.
We want to cut that so it doesn't show up over her face. Right there.
I chose Madison College because it was a cheaper option than going to a four-year school right off the bat, right out of high school. And because they had a lot of classes I was interested in. And
you know what we also could do? We can cut Jessica saying something here. So we can say,
right out of high school.
we're going to cut it
Right off the bat.
right here. Right there is where we have that crash happens. We're just going to cut it there.
Right.
Just cut that right there. Delete it. The whole thing, you don't have to worry because it's over BRoll.
Right out of high school.
We're just going to move this inward then too.
Right out of high school.
We have a slight noise. Did you hear that?
Right out of.
Oh yeah, that's wonderful. So we're going to just go in, and I wasn't going to do this today, but let's just do it anyway. So we're going to go in. You see this white line here? We can move this up and down. And this controls our audio level, so we can make it really loud.
Right out of high school.
Or we can make it really quiet. Let's use our scroll and move it down a bit so you can see what I'm doing. Move this really low. And this affects the whole clip, so the whole thing is really low now. But let's move this back to being kind of a medium length. What we can do with this, which is I think is kind of a new thing, but I like it. We can add the pen tool and we go in and it has this little question mark doohickey thing. I'm going to just click on it and it makes a little dot. This is a keyframe. In audio though. Then we're going to add another one. Let's add another one right at the end. And then with our selection tool, we can move these in and out. So if you have something that clips or has an issue, you can just move them in and out. We're just going to move these all the way down here so we don't get that.
Right out of high school.
Hear that? It's gone. It's still there. But it fades out now.
Right out of high school.
And now we don't have that weird, the locker slamming in the back. So we can just pull this out again. So now we picked up some of our audio. We could do that through the whole clip. I'm kind of scrubbing through and checking my audio level, and if it goes red, I have to go through and do that again and again and again and again. Because you don't want it to go red, because that means it is clipping. Overall, this is a pretty good interview. I'm not happy with this font. This font is kind of basic. So we're going to go into our effects controls over here. Remember those. We're going to just go down, click on our thing, and it has our text, interview with student. We have, we can animate this. Anything with the stopwatch is animatable. We can change the size of it. Here, just grab in, make it really tiny, so only ants can see this video. Let's change the font quick. Let's do something fun. Let's do Poplar. Isn't that lovely? So we can also set this to being centered or right aligned. We can change some of the kerning and leading if we so wanted to. We can mask it. But yeah, let's just move this over. Yay! So now we have a basic good interview. That's all you have to do. So like this video and subscribe, and in our next videos we're gonna talk about other ways of doing text. We're gonna go into more of our effects controls, color correction, and some other effects you can do. Thank you for watching.